Death. Everything living must one day die. It's something every human across the world has in common. But what is very different is how we deal with it. I am in Sulawesi, Indonesia, visiting Tana Toraja, or the land of the dead, to attend their funeral ceremonies, visit open grave burial sites, and witness animal sacrifices, to see how something we all share is dealt with so differently. This video features scenes around death and glimpses into animal sacrifices. Please watch at your own discretion. Okay, so we are lucky enough today that we are actually going to one of the ceremonies. So Jakob has said to get them a big pack of cigarettes. It's not an obligation, but it is just a gift and a custom that you can give to the family as you arrive at the ceremony.
They are already preparing. Almost we come to other place before, and now they are still already active.
We are at the ceremony now, as you can see, and Jakob said that they are preparing. They've already been going for a couple of days, and now they are preparing for the next part of it. So what are they doing at the moment, Jakob?
They're preparing the beer.
Okay.
And after 12 o'clock, then they're processing the coffin around the village.
Okay.
By significant, their body need to visiting his village around.
Okay.
Before he go to second line.
As the men prepare the area for the ceremony, the women prepare the food to feed all the guests that will arrive. And the kids? Well, the kids just seem to be enjoying themselves. They have two? Is like a couple or like marriage?
Couple by the son-in-law.
We are given some coffee while we wait for other guests to arrive and take a seat on one of the platforms while Jakob explains more about the beliefs.
The dead body on the first one there is already 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah,
wow.
Another one is 2 years ago.
When they are like waiting for 10 years and 2 years, they stay with the family?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And they keep himself part of his house in the south part of room.
Okay.
And lying to the west, because south and west is connecting by the dead.
Yes, okay.
And the other is connecting by line. During we keep the dead body on the south part, we consider it as a segment. When we turning over the body and direct it to the south in middle room, at the time we call Tonate. Tonate is truly dead.
Many of the people here, they live in these houses. Yeah. This is like their little village sort of thing as well.
Surrounding the village is temporary houses. Okay. Preparing for a funeral.
Yes, okay.
After the funeral, then they break it down.
Okay, so they take them down after the ceremonies.
One of them is a rice store, storing rice. So if we arrive in the village and we saw one house and so many rice buns, you can imagine that all the family who stay is a wealthy family. Yeah, so more wealthy when there is more with rice. So it looks like the ceremony is about to begin now. They took the ladders down from the top where they'll be putting the bodies. They've put the two coffins together, and everyone now is starting to gather around, ready for the ceremony itself. So the singing, dancing part of the ceremony is done now. But it was pretty cool that I got to join in. My guide got me to join in with the actual circle themselves, so that was actually immersive and getting involved with them. It's horrible to look at the fact that I'm taking videos of the animals that are around here, knowing full well that they're going to be sacrificed soon as part of the ritual, and I've never seen anything like that before, so I have no idea how I'm actually going to react to it all. So we've been invited up onto the platform with the family as their guests, and the ceremony will start in about 1 hour from now. And at the moment we're just having some coffee and some snacks with the actual family, and I have given them the gift of the big box of cigarettes, and I'm just learning some of the culture here from Jakob as well.
This time the minimum backlog is 75. I mean the price can be let's say 30 to 600 million.
It's all very interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the actual rituals are like. But yeah, it's just incredible. So now we just wait for the rituals to start. The other strange thing here as well is, especially as I was the first tourist that had actually turned up this morning, everyone wants to come up and take photos with you. It's so strange, but I must have had about 20 people or so that have come up to take photos, and then once one does, another one does, and another one does. It's such a strange feeling.
This is also wanna make picture with you.
Yeah, of course. But everyone here is so welcoming and so friendly for something that back in the West is like an intimate ceremony of family and close friends. They're so welcoming here to celebrate. And Jakob told me as well that it's done over 7 days, and the first couple of days are more the family grieving, and they stay in the privacy of their own homes and everything. But then after that, the days in between, kind of a celebration, and then the last couple of days when they put them to rest in the tombs and stuff like that, it becomes more of a mourning as they're actually letting go of the family.
The time has come for the sacrifices, and it is dependent on the wealth of the family, which will determine how many buffaloes may be sacrificed at one specific ceremony. The buffaloes are sacrificed as they are thought to help guide the deceased on their journey to the next life. The buffalo is led into the centre square as everyone gathers round. One man ties the buffalo's leg to the centre stake as the other tries to keep the animal calm. He then reaches for his machete for one swift, clean strike to the throat. They move on with the ceremony. We head to the entrance area where the coffins are now to be led around the village area in one loop before returning for the next part. The men carry the coffins on the bamboo platforms they had been building this morning as the women follow behind. They head down the hill before turning to make their return up the steep hill back to the main ceremonial area.
So they've just carried the coffins around with the buffaloes all the way around. God knows how they got it up that hill because it's steep as hell, so fair play to them. And it's not like where you're worried about dropping the coffin in Western society because it's up, down, they're bouncing it up and down and cheering and all that sort of stuff. Now they're just building the ladder back up to the tower, and I'm interested to see how they're actually going to get the coffins back up there. So they've took apart like the bamboo and the roof and everything off it, and they just put the coffins up there for the rest of the ceremony. But it's very steep, so I have no doubt in them after they've carried this round and gone up steep hills, but it's going to be interesting to see how they actually get it up the tower. The sacrifice of the buffalo as well was unbelievable. It's not something I ever expected to see, but it's so strange being in that moment of like kind of not knowing how to react. Like there's a weird sensation inside of you, but it's part of their culture and part of their ritual, so it's a normal thing here. So it's keeping an open mind with it all, and this is something that they've done for ages. It's just coming from the West, and seeing that sort of thing is very difficult to watch.
The Master of Ceremonies brings the main part to a close, and on that note, Jakob suggests we move on to see another ceremony, but at the more wealthy end of the scale.
So we had lunch and left the one, and now we've travelled through the jungle and past loads of the traditional houses and little villages on the way, and we are now heading to another ceremony that they have going on.
As we arrive at the ceremony, it is noticeably on a grander scale. The size, the setup and the amount of guests. Also the different types of buffalo with their white patches and what Jakob likes to call tourist eyes. These are the more expensive buffalo, as the white patches are thought to project a guiding light on the journey to the next life. The houses here are decorated with the horns of past buffaloes to show how many have been sacrificed at previous ceremonies.
person who bring the pig, they come from the reference room like we saw when we just arrived.
Yes.
People are coming out.
Okay.
After they showing the family their gifts, and then take away, and maybe they sacrifice behind their
Okay, so they do it behind some of the houses. Okay. So it looks like they take the pigs behind the back of the houses and they do the sacrifices back here. There's a few of them lying here. There's some blood on the floor and everything already. So, and there's some meat and stuff chopped up around. So it's very, very gruesome, but it's just part of their ritual and what they do here. And then apparently on the tannoy, Jakob just told me that they're then going to go down and do a bullfight in an arena or something. It's all very crazy compared to like Western standards. It is what it is. You have to keep an open mind to the different cultures and the different ways of the world. And when they kill the pig, they do the same with the buffalo or through the heart? The heart instead of the throat.
The screams from the pigs are the most haunting part, as they're punctured through the heart until they pass. Once they're gone, they remove what they need to internally, and then bring out a flamethrower to remove the hairs from the body, before repeating over and over again.
Watching multiple pigs get sacrificed is absolutely mental, not something that I ever expected to see, and it's weird not knowing how to react. Everywhere that you walk around is just like a butcher's market. There's dead pigs everywhere, buffalo heads, horns. It's like something out of a nightmare for most people. I hear the squeals of the pigs and everything behind me as well. Constantly going on around you like all the time, just like screaming animals. But it's normal custom here. It's just normal. It's their way of life, their rituals. They've been doing it for hundreds or thousands of years. This is the bullfighting. Okay. So now we've come to an area where they're going to do the bullfighting now. So we've got our little makeshift seat and we're ready for the bullfighting. Everyone gathered around to watch. You think a stick will stop a big buffalo? Okay. Just in case. How long do the fights last? Normally they'll...
It depends on buffalo. When the buffalo board is aggressive, it can take longer.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes we are just meeting between and one of them run away.
Oh wow, just straight away gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, people say, we want to go to see the bullfighting, but when we are there, we saw the buffalo racing.
Buffalo racing. Okay, yeah. Here come the buffalo anyway, they're coming in now. So the buffalo have escaped the arena. All the people that were sitting down on that side got up and legged it straight away. So now I think they're going back to catch them. Mental.
There were a couple more fights, but mostly it was a lot of the buffaloes just standing around. And as Jakob said, a lot of buffalo racing.
Don't know what happened to the original white one, but that went missing, and then another one came in after, and now they've both gone running off in a different direction, so I have no idea what they do now.
And then in one of the last ones we witnessed the buffaloes take off, but this time towards the crowds.
So as the buffalo start to run out and one of them gives up, they can actually get back up into this area, so that's why you hear everyone screaming all of a sudden run, because they could just come charging up this way.
Myself and Jakob got a bit of a laugh out of how fast it turned from the crowd watching them to the crowd panicking. After seeing a few of them and witnessing many parts of the ceremony, we decided to call it a day, as tomorrow morning we would be heading to see the burial sites and open areas of human remains scattered amongst the old caves. The next morning we arrive at a place where the dead are put to rest after the ceremonies have come to a close in the village. Tombs built into the side of a mountain and bodies laid in their final place, surrounded by wooden sculptures depicting the deceased as they look down on the visitors and family as they enter. We head higher up to see more. Many more.
What an absolutely incredible place. It's so different to like the gravesite areas that you have back in the West. To to see the tombs into the mountains, the statues there of the ones that have passed and moved on to the afterlife, and the stories behind it all that Jakob explains is incredible. And in the setting of the rice fields and the community below is unbelievable. As you're walking up past the tombs, you do get that eerie feeling because of course it's death, but it also has like a peaceful feeling as you walk past. Everything's so quiet here, you can just hear the nature, and it does feel incredibly peaceful. The site is absolutely incredible to see.
We move on from the more recent tombs to visit the oldest ones, the original ones, used many years ago.
After driving through the jungle for a bit, we've just stopped off where we're getting some coffee, and there are some traditional tombs around this area as well, a bit different to the ones that were embedded into the rocks with the small doorways and the statues.
We head down to the caves to explore a gravesite I will never forget.
These coffins were higher,
Yeah.
and then they fall, they break, and then
Yeah.
that's where the remains.
The family come to took some of them and be in the stalactite and stalactite. Because if we saw how come the skull come up there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So they can move them.
Yeah. Otherwise, if they just leave it down,
Yeah.
and there is a spirit of them can come to their house and make any disturb.
They put them on the rocks for rest.
We moved to another one, another style, because if we keep the cave, not so long time the body or the coffin is compose.
Yeah, like rot.
And finally, the family need have an idea to make the wood coffin. The wood coffin used as a tomb, and they clip somewhere on the clip.
Yeah.
They put it on the high place, and what we believe that it's a safe place for.
Yes. Yeah.
Now anyone or no any animals can touch the body. But for me, if I come by myself on here, I'm still scared. Even I come with tourists.
Yes.
Yeah. When I just enter, seems I ask permission and they don't like. Yeah, the way we make a connection, what we believe that we still have connecting by. Normally we meet our family in dream.
So we go through like a tighter cave area now. Squeeze through. Such a strange place to take in, especially being from like the Western world and everything, of the differences and the feeling that you get in there with like the fact that the tombs and that have fell from the rocks, and you just see the remains and the skulls and everything just dotted around. It's a very strange, like eerie sort of feeling, but also kind of peaceful in a way.
The next area Jakob shows me really caught me off guard.
It's a what tree?
Baby tree.
Okay.
Baby graves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I heard a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Pasiliran, it's a very it's a place where we keep the baby die before having kids. Yeah. We bury it on the tree where the tree containing white sap. Child can feeding the sap of the tree. And that can be exchanged by the milk. Tree can help the spirit of the baby can grow up.
Okay.
Until the spirit of baby can ever walk to second life.
And the religion round Tana Toraja now is more, you see like Christian sort of thing everywhere.
Yeah.
But all of this was before all the Christian sort of stuff came. Is like part of a different religion, or like just spiritually?
Yeah, it's really different. Our religion we call Aluk Todolo.
Okay.
Yeah, but the Aluk Todolo can use kind of this tomb in the past.
Okay.
But since 85 or 90 years already.
Okay.
Toraja doesn't use tomb anymore. Now we are totally Christianity, and sometimes we do. And Christians say, it's not allowed to do that.
Oh, okay. So you have you are totally Christian now,
Yeah.
but you still practice the old beliefs and
Yeah.
stuff like that and keep the traditions and
Yeah.
So that was really, really eerie. So no explanation beforehand, but we just kind of turned up, started looking at this tree, and then Jakob said to me, oh, these are the baby tombs. It's the baby tree where they bury the young babies that have died. It's very strange, and to be fair, when he said it and I was just looking at the tree to start off with, as soon as he said, oh, these are the baby tombs, my heart sank. It's not something you ever expect to see, but it's interesting to learn why and what their beliefs are behind it all. This is day 2 of going to a ceremony, and it should be a bit of a different day today, but we're heading back to the one where we watched the bullfighting yesterday. So the more bigger upscale sort of one. So it'll be interesting to see what this is like today and how it differs from the rituals and the sacrifices and everything from yesterday. So we've turned up now and everyone's just taking a break and they're all having lunch and stuff like that. As soon as you walk in, they're cutting apart the pigs and there's buffalo heads and that on the floor again. They're hanging stuff up from the towers and chopping off the horns. So the culture and the ritual of it all hits you as soon as you get there. It's straight away in your face.
As soon as we have arrived, we are invited once again to eat as guests on one of the platforms.
I'll tell you what, come back to freaking spicy. I don't know what it was, picking up the pig. And burning.
After eating, we witnessed more of a day of celebration, as some of the women entertained the family in front of the main area with traditional song and dance. And some of the guests in the background don't mind getting involved as well. I take a seat on the outskirts with a new friend and take in the celebratory side of the final moments I will witness at one of these incredible events.
So we've just left now because they continue to do this sort of thing for the rest of the day, and that is the end of the ceremony stuff for this period, which it was really interesting to see the way of the old ways and keeping the traditions. And yeah, it's just unbelievable to see that sort of side of stuff in the world that's completely different as how we know it.
In the next video, I will continue my journey in Toraja with Jakob, trekking through the jungles and stunning rice fields of the area, staying with a local family in a traditional house and seeing more of the beauty of this incredible place. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.